After many weeks of planning and building, it is finally time to put this feeder together for the last time, put it out in the pig pen and see how it works. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. Got all the flaps attached, hopefully for the last time. You notice I put caulking along that top edge. The reason for that, it has nothing to do with holding the flaps on there. It's more to keep water out as water runs down the side of the feeder. I know this is not going to be waterproof, but we can at least make it as waterproof as possible. Next, we need to get the lid on. I'm going to clean these holes out for the hinges. Strong enough to do it. Oh, I guess I am. Okay. Well, there you go. Oh, we almost had it. Ooh, that one fit good. For the hinge bolts, I'm going to use these nylock nuts. Several people left in the comments that I need to do that, and that was the plan all along, but when I'm fitting everything up, I just use regular nuts because they're easier to take on and off. But for final assembly, we're going with nylocks. The purpose of the nylocks is just that you don't have to cinch that bolt down real tight for the nut to stay on there. You can have it kind of loose, and that way this hinge will work and you can open and close the lid smoothly. This is pretty much ready to go, but there is one small problem, and that is I don't have any feed to put in this thing, and I don't want to just set it in their pen empty, because when I first set it in there, that is when their curiosity is going to be piqued, and we want to make sure that there is some food in there when they're investigating it. And to take it a step further, what I plan to do is to tie two of the flaps up so that they're just wide open, and when we put the feeder in there with food in it, the pigs can easily see that there's feed in there. And we'll let them get used to eating out of this thing for several days until I untie the flaps and close them. I think by that point, the pigs will be associating this with their meals. And once those flaps are closed, just by the nature of how pigs are, they're gonna mess with it and nose it, and they'll keep messing with it until they find their food. So there is a bit of a training period that's gonna be required to make this work, but pigs are smart. It should be pretty easy to do. And while I'm gonna be out running around, it would be a good use of my time to swing by the hayfield and get this wheel put back on the disc so that if I end up having time to disc tomorrow, which I think I will, this will just be ready to go. It's a little concerning because I filled this tire up the other day and it's flat again. So I don't know. We might just have to fill it up every day before we run the tractor. And here we are. thing. Well, that's done. Hopefully that tire's still got air by the time we want to come disc. I just picked up 10 50-pound bags of pig feed. We're gonna run back home, put the feeder in the pen with the pigs, and see if that'll even fill it up, or if we have some left over. I really have no idea. We never really see it from this side, do we? I got the truck parked over here by the gate so that once I get the feeder set up, it's a lot more convenient to haul all this feed in here. And I'm just kind of thinking now about how exactly am I going to do this. It'd really be better if I could lock the pigs up in their house so I could just leave the gate open and walk in and out as I need. But getting them in the house might not be too easy. It might not be too hard though. In fact, pigs are so curious, and they're at the age where they're no longer afraid of me. I bet if I just walk in the house that they'll all kind of follow me in there to see what I'm doing, and maybe I'll be able to trap them in there. We'll give it a try. Hey, look out, boys. Watch it. Which way is this guy gonna go? Well, how about that? It worked. That'll work. On second thought, it's probably smarter to carry it on this eye. It hopefully won't swing around and bounce around quite so much. All right, let's fill it up. Well, I got every bit of 10 bags in here. In fact, I bet I could fit another 5, making a total of 15. But this thing is full enough for now to kind of test it, see if there's any changes that we need to make. Hopefully there are not, because it's kind of hard to do now that it's all painted. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of curious to see how this is feeding out of here. Oh, that looks perfect. I mean, Time will tell, obviously, but that looks good. What would be bad is if that feed filled that trough a lot more to where the pigs could like root around in it and therefore spill a bunch of it. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Of course, we need to watch them eat out of it first to see. But so far, first impression is it looks good. Next, we got to figure out how to tie these lids open. I've got an idea how to do it. We'll see if it's going to work or not. All right, so now if I take this tail, tie it up here somewhere, that looks like it's going to work really good. Just go right there. That'll work. It'll work real good. There we go. You guys ready to get out of here? Being ready. Oh, that's tight. Alright. Tell me what you think. Been doing a lot of work for you guys. Well, I guess they're not very hungry right now. We'll have to come back and check on them in a little while. They seem like they're hot. They're just wanting to get in the shade and in the mud. But I bet this evening they'll be tearing into this thing. He already got it figured out. You guys look full. It's been a few hours since I put the feeder out here, and during that time I have caught the pigs getting up in here, checking it out, and a couple of them even figured out how to lift the flaps that I don't have tied open. So I think it's going to be a pretty smooth transition and getting them to where I don't have to have these tied open. I could just close them all the time. You can see they've done quite the number on this feeder in the last couple of hours, but that's fine. It's a pig feeder. This is gonna happen. One of the first things that they wanted to do was chew on these rubber lids, which I fully expected them to do, but now that they have done it, I don't think it's gonna be something that they do all the time. It's just kind of, they don't have hands, so when they are exploring something new, there's really only one way that they can do it, and that's with their mouth. Two things that I've noticed about the feeder that I am very happy to see is that, number one, the feed is staying down in the trough. It's not getting up near the rim to where it's gonna like fall out the side. And then two, there's not a bunch of wasted feed on the ground all around it. So in other words, all of the feed is either here in the hopper or in their bellies. And just for curiosity's sake, I do kind of wonder, okay, I was, you know, part of me was worried that they were just gonna fly through this feed really fast. And I'm sure that they will eat it a little bit faster than they would if I was doling it out day by day, but there's not really a noticeable decrease of feed in there. I mean, there's a little bit of a low spot there in the middle where they've drained it down a bit, but it's not as bad as what I was kind of afraid it might be. Originally, my plan was to leave the flaps tied open for like 2 or 3 days, but after seeing several of the pigs open these flaps on the side and eat out of this thing, and just kind of seeing how well they're taken to this, I think I will leave them tied up tonight just to kind of be sure. But my plan now is tomorrow morning to let these down, and then we'll just kind of monitor it closely and see how they do with it. So there you have it. Pig feeder's done. Now I can start on a new project. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.